Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of
When we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that.
On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, I'll be sharing with you how to prepare some Jamaican fried dumplings and steamed callaloo. Now, I have got here my callaloo all cleaned, washed and shredded. For you to know how to do this, I have a video right here on the channel. I will leave for you the link in the description that you can go and check out how we do that. Or if you want to get your pre-shredded callaloo in the supermarket. In Jamaica here, we get them pre-shredded at the market and so, but I prefer to do mine. So if you can get yours in your shop, in your supermarket or your green grocery or wherever, and you want to buy it, then you can do that. Or if where you are you can get callaloo, you can go check that video out. Now for fried dumplings, basic original Jamaican, not basic but original Jamaican fried dumpling recipe, I have about 2 or 3 fried dumpling recipe there, right? And they are in depth too, but we're just doing this one with the callaloo. Now you need flour, 3 things or 4 things. You need flour, you need baking powder, you need a little salt, and you need water. You need some water. The flour, baking powder, salt, room temperature, or basic tap water. You know, that's what we need. Some people put in butter. When you put the butter in, you'll get a different texture fried dumpling. You're gonna get some fried dumpling with the outside crust and with the crust and the crispy crust, like kind of crispy or crusty, and on the inside soft. Therefore you'll have to burst through that crust to reach inside. I'm giving you the original one that my mama used to do when we were kids. Soft and nice. I'll show you the exact way, the techniques that you go through to get it this way. Okay, so I have here about 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 cups of flour. To this is not double acting, I'm not sure. Yes, this says double acting, but honestly these days me not really trust double acting different from the other acting or single acting. I'm gonna put about this, and this is 1 tablespoon, but it is not level, it is more, it is, you would say, heaped. So I'm gonna put it all over. It says double acting, so it should be working a little better. Also, I'm gonna be putting about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't like a lot of salt in my stuff, so you can do you, but I think this salt is enough for the 2 cups or 2 1/4 cups of flour, that heap teaspoon of double acting. And if I'm even double acting, you can put, if it's not double acting, you could probably put a little more. Okay, now you're gonna need a little extra flour in case you go too soft on the dough. So if you have some flour there and it's the last of the flour, remember to reserve some of the dried flour before you start putting the dough together. With clean hands, we're gonna use our hands, and if you want to use a spoon, some people really don't like the stickiness of the dough on their hands. You're gonna spend a few seconds to use your hand to even out this baking powder and this salt through the mixture. I'll teach you a technique that my mother would do to know if she have enough salt. My mother would take some of this, whether she's frying dumplings or she's boiling dumplings, and she would put it in her hand and she would taste. Yeah, and look here, if anybody remember when gang our grandma, anybody do that, tell me I was on point. It is to taste. You will taste the salt. I'm gonna want nobody come tell me who that my mom did this so many times when she was not sure. And I beg of you, I beseech you, anybody will grow with them old people a country and you see gang grandma, anybody used to do that, try it. So if you're a new cook getting into cooking and you're not sure of the salt intake, you can just mix your flour thoroughly. Okay, so you would not need more than about 1/4 or a little less than 1/4 teaspoon of salt. With this 2 1/2 cup of flour, 2 1/4, and that heap tablespoon of baking powder, you would not need 1/2 or 1 teaspoon of salt. No, you would not. unless you love salt like that. All thoroughly mixed in. We're going to add the water a little at a time. This water adding in small portions will enable you to have the dough even right out as you go along. So as you go along and the water catches it, it is going to be all clumped up all over. So you throw your water. You want to just pick up like a coarse cornmeal mixture. But you know, you're not even no coarse cornmeal. You put a little, and the more you put is the more the dough starts coming together. You see? But even though it starts coming together, there is dried flour there. So you want to just go right through, flaking it out. Look at this. Daddy, dip on it. Yeah, and you get it all mushed. You see it? Yeah. You see it start getting in big lumps. So you want to throw a little more. Now it starts coming together. I may be moving my hands fast, but I can't really do this exercise slow. In this dough, there becomes some moisture is building up. So the moisture is enough to bring the dough together. So you want to get the dough in. I'm not going to click off this part. I'm not going to cut. I'm going to show it to you. So the dough, there is enough moisture in there, enough liquid. If you want to use milk, some people want to use milk. If you want to use your milk, use your milk. Okay, whatever you want to use, just try it and do your thing. So there is enough in there to scoop around. My mom, she would just clean around the edges. She would have never make a flour dough. And when you're done, all kind of dry flour, they all bought in the container. No, she was a perfect dumpling, fried dumpling, and boiled dumpling maker. I've never seen her second in this life. She was a perfect. And if you didn't have anybody where you know you deem, big them up in the comment section. Gang, grandma, Aunt Lucille, any one of them. Who you deem the perfect, whether fried dumpling or boiled dumpling dough maker, big them up. Me give you another chance there. Big them up in the comment section. I can't do it like her though. This thing would be clean. Now, some people say you would do this. Some people do it overnight ahead of time, wrap it in a cling wrap. Put it in the fridge. Me never see my mother do that. She would do it ahead of time and leave it for a little time. She would pour what we know about cling wrap and they sitting there. So I have taken on from my mother a little different. I have done something a little different. She would do it and knead it for a pretty good time. I don't like the whole heap of long kneading. So I want to get this dough coming almost like a yeast dough. That is how you get this soft, perky, soft, springy fried dumpling texture. So what I do, I am going to put a little more water down in here. And I think I showed that already. And I'm going to work this dough, look at it, into this extra water. And it's going to look like the dough spoiled. I think I did that somewhere in a video. I don't remember which channel. And somebody commented, who spoils the dough before something to that. But who cares? Now, when you're making bread and using yeast, you always make the dough soft, extra soft. Go watch any. I have a bread making dough that a bread making video. I uploaded it on the family channel. I'm gonna leave the link to that. You go check it out. It is probably really underwatched. But I put the bread dough video there because as a family channel, I think people would want to be more into making bread as a family, because to make bread as a family, I think it's easier and it's fun. So I'm gonna leave the link. But you can check any bread making dough. You'll have to get the dough really soft on the softest side first, and then you would leave it to ferment. So me throw extra water. Yeah, you see it? It looks spoiled, but I'm gonna knead this right in, and it's gonna be soft. But I'm gonna knead it until you see how my hands are making. But I'm gonna go knead it now, knead it until there is no meckiness and it starts cleaning my hands, just like you would. I'm giving you some vital info here, just like how you would with the yeast dough, and you would mix it in that mixer, and it looks soft, but it would stay there and mix and mix and mix and mix until it starts cleaning the edge of the sides of that stainless steel or glass bowl, and everything comes into one. I'm gonna go do a little of that kneading, and you see it's sticking to my hands. I'm gonna knead it until it stops sticking to my hands and return. Must soon come. Okay, so I did add a little extra water. We are still not there. My hands are getting clean. So I have developed this method for myself, in addition to what my mother used to do. So you see my hands are still, it is, look at this. It's still sticking to my hand. I'm treating it like yeast. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue cleaning around the sides of the bowl, kneading. No more flour. Don't put any more flour, family. When you have a little extra water, it seems sticky. It gets extra sticky and seems like you want to put some more flour. If you put some more flour, the dough is gonna be more harder. We are trying to find the soft, smooth, yeast proven dough texture without any yeast. So I'm gonna start kneading, cleaning around. When you start to clean around the sides of the bowl, you see it is sticking still, sticking. But you want to knead it until when you rub it against the side of the bowl, it doesn't stick, neither to the bowl nor your hand. So we are there, we are almost there. And I'm gonna do the rest of this off camera. You have gotten the picture. So normally my mother would make it, and then she would make it reasonable soft, but the same as I've seen other people make it, and they make it and it looks a kind of lumpy way. It's soft enough, but you know that little extra softness the way you want in the dumpling, you still not get it. So I've developed this way on my own long ago, so I'm sharing with you. So I'm gonna knead this until it stops sticking to my hand and the sides of the bowl. Me I go come back at the time that we are ready to put the dumpling together. You see it's still sticking. I'm gonna knead it and come back and show you say it tap stick. So okay, we are back, fam. It's not sticking to the sides, it's not sticking to my hand. You have to get it this way. You want, when you knead your fried dumpling dough, it finish with that smooth look, as a yeast dough look. You don't want it to have it rough top. You can ball it, you can do what you want to do. And right now we are going to leave it covered for about 15 to 20 minutes, and in the next clip you will see me ready to prepare these fried dumplings just like mama used to do back in the days. Must soon come. So after about 15 to 20 minutes, this is my dough. Now family, look how manageable this dough is. Look at the stretch. Look at it. Look how manageable. And you know what? It's not sticking to my hands. Not sticking to the side, okay? So I've got my pot over here preheating with some oil. Another thing I want to share with you is this. When you start frying your dumplings, when you start to fry dumpling, and each time you take out a batch of meal frying, you continuously have to be pouring more oil in the pot. It tells you that you don't have a good dumpling dough. You have a dry dough that is at all times seeking for moisture. This dough is filled with lots of moisture. We need it in some extra water, whether we want to use water or milk. So when you what the amount of oil that you start frying with, very rare you have to add oil to the pot, because the dough is moist. The dough can hold its own while frying. So we have oil being heated, medium, and we are going to probably bring it down. Now I'm going to shape my dumplings. And if you notice, most people that buys, I notice the people that fry, when they buy them dough, if you notice, they buy it in a tall can, and when they take it out, this is how it is. It's prepared for them. If you notice, people that use the can dough, pre-prepared can doughs, that's how they come out. My mother showed me, this is how she did it. So you're gonna break off a piece. I'm gonna start frying. Look how manageable this dough is. Look at it. My hands, it's not sticking. How manageable. I'm not making these round dumplings. I'm rounding them, but I'm flattening them and make them like our mama used to do back in the days. So if it even sticks, you notice you can pick it up off of your hand. Look at this. It's picking it up. mediumly heated right on over here. We're going to flat out the dumpling like Mama did. Yeah. Dad shoot them up. This is how much. You don't want it too high. You want it to fry. And you know. So we're going to put in them dumpling there. Just like this. Dough is so manageable. Dumpling result must be good. I'm going to do that and come and let me show you. Right away you can see. So your baking powder is active. You know they start coming up. So remember, you know, but I have the baking powder in the cupboard and you know use it. It's best to store it in your refrigerator. You know, use it for how long and you come and you start use it and you check on your baking powder. If you're not somebody that cooks a lot and uses a lot of baking powder, uses it often, check on the expiry date of your baking powder. If it expire, dumpling and now go work out. Next clip. Dumplings frying at a slow pace. Okay. This is the last one in. This was the second to last. You notice all those that have been there. Baking powder is active, so they are rising. So you want to gently turn and you notice it is coming. The baking powder is active, so you want to churn it. You don't want it frying on any higher heat than this. You will see like indents coming there. It doesn't matter, it's the baking powder that is at work. So these dumplings will come out on the puffy. They're not going to come out flat like that, puffy, fluff up, puffy. But when the thing is, when you squeeze them, they're going to be so spongy. So let us look at these. Slow pace, taking color, baking powder working, because you don't want too much high heat from the baking powder, you know. So you will get enough time and you have them and you're turning them, you know. Watch your flame. So you turn them. That's how you do. Slowly, slowly, family, slowly. And you can see, look at that. Look at that. You can see that the baking powder is active. There is enough. You can have too much in there and you can have too less. And too much in there, you know what? You taste the baking powder in the dumpling. You taste it by your teeth. Who know about that? Tell me about that. Show them up again, Dad. Let them fry whilst you turn them from side to side and you get your desired color. You want it brown, brown, brown like a black cake if you want it. That's this is the perfect. Wow, I got burned right there. And this is real kitchen. Be careful. You have this color. This is the finished color. So we'll continue fry off them dumpling here now, because in this pot in Jessie, that's where we'll be using this fried dumpling oil to steam the callaloo. So I'll be frying them off. You get the whole picture or you do the dough. Fry it on the medium. Do not fry it and have the dumpling and too much of a high heat. Outside pretty and crispy and brown and nice, inside raw. When you tear it, you see the raw dough tear. Don't do that. Give it enough time. You can cover your pot, but I never normally cover when I do it flat. I cover when I do it the round way because they're harder to fry when you do them round. These were the ones that Mama used to make. Next clip. Okay, now the proof. Some of these dumplings are ready and I'm using this to hold it. So I'm removing them. Back then, Mama didn't care about the perfect shape of the dumplings. She cared about the finishing, the soft texture. So I'm going to remove these dumplings, and the trick to getting these dumplings extra soft would be to cover them with a clean cloth, and she would rest them somewhere upon the wood fire side of the, you know, them wood fire that will come up in the kitchen. No, you don't know about it, you just don't know, but she would put it somewhere. She never have no stove like that. We have the wood fire pot up there, part there. She would put it right on there with a clean towel, cover it to keep it warm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove these as soon as all of them are finished. Put them in here, cover them with a clean tea towel, and I'm going to leave them in my microwave. That, when we are ready to serve, that is where the finishing touches of these dumplings will be added with the covering and somewhere warm, and everything will be nice. So when I'm ready now to put together, I've cut up all my little seasonings. I'm going to steam my callaloo, and I'm going to show you how I get that perfect callaloo. Perfect, direct callaloo tasting of my callaloo. Perfect callaloo flavor. I don't want to pour that seasoning and something to interact with my callaloo taste. Next clip. I'll show you something. I'm gonna proceed to start doing my callaloo. If you were watching this video, or if you had watched this video keenly, you would see that I showed you the amount of oil that I use to fry my dumplings. My dumplings are out. I never use no extra oil because my dough had enough moisture. It wasn't dry to be sucking out the oil. So we are on to our callaloo. I've upped my flame a bit, and I have in here no onion. I have a little piece, just a small amount of bell pepper. I have hot pepper, I have scallion, I have thyme, and I have a lot of garlic. Okay, so I'm gonna put it right. I have tomatoes too, so I'm gonna put it right in there. And now this is the time to get my flame all up. Now that that has happened, I'm gonna turn it over a bit. These are what I'm gonna be using to steam my callaloo, along with some little of my basil, no other seasonings. I'm gonna cook this until it comes right out till all. If I add onions, I'll put some in there too. Not that onion give a whole heap of flavor when I care for, but you know, you can still put it. So I'm gonna let this cook and come down. So the oil was enough. I used about a half cup of oil or a little under to fry those dumplings, and I'm still using this oil to do my callaloo. So I'm going to let that cook a little, and then I'll return and I'll show you how I'm going to do my callaloo. I want my natural, I don't want to go for seasoning to take on my callaloo taste. We'll be back in the next clip. My seasonings are breaking down. Tomato, take over the thing, because you see them red and nice. My garlic is there and I don't want it to get burned. So I'm going to get my flame down a bit, and I'm going to add my cleaned, washed and shredded callaloo. Okay, you can see I didn't have extra water in there. You must use your callaloo family. You not to put it out of a lot of water. These things are green leafy vegetables, or whether they are green, yes or no, leafy vegetables, they have their own moisture inside there. So I'll be putting that out right there, cover it, and I'm gonna put it down low, and I'm gonna leave it for probably another 6 or 7 minutes on the low there. What is gonna happen there, those seasonings are gonna continue to break down at the bottom, whilst the callaloo with that covered pot, it is gonna build some steam, enabling the callaloo to start cooking. And then when we return after 6 or 7 minutes, the callaloo will almost down to nothing, because it is gonna be partially cooked. And from there, me show you, then we're gonna plate up some of this callaloo and fried dumpling. Old time, long time, back then, mama, Jamaican style. So this is what will happen, family, after a few minutes, right? So there is enough moisture in there. Look at that in the bottom. Wow, look at that. Look at that. There is enough moisture in there to finish getting your this spoon is the wrong spoon, you see. Let me get my spoon. Wrong spoon, family. Look at that callaloo. Look at that callaloo. Look at it. Now we are gonna leave it. I am gonna add right here. But let me tell you something, a little secret about me. I don't know about me and callaloo, like I have salt always. Ever hear your old people them say the salt always I get wet. Whether me measure or me no measure, always a little salty. I don't know why. So look, you're gonna steam this callaloo. Let it steam, not boil. You're not going to throw no additional water in there and boil it. You're gonna let it steam in its own juices until those callaloo stalks are tender for your teeth manage it. I'm gonna put my little salt. I'll do it right now. Is the time me not have. All right, I think that's enough because the callaloo fresh, so yeah, you know. So this is my little thing, you know, for my little basil sitting this here. You know, may I put a, you know, may I go a little extra. Yeah, so if you use like your Maggi seasoning, some people use it. I feel them think that I can't take it away from them, and I will never try to. I will be out of my place to do that. So you want to let it stay right down there on the low, and you're gonna let it steam in its own juices. Not no higher heat, no lower heat. Because look here, it is here everything. What that stir that I did right there was to get all the salt and the dried basil come together in there. So I'm gonna leave it right there so and let it steam down in its own juices. When I return, those stalks will be all tender already. And I'll have just a plate of this steamed callaloo and the fried dumplings just for you. Okay, YouTube fam, callaloo is ready. With just a little bit of moisture down in the bottom there. We don't want to dry out backy callaloo, you know. Callaloo must have moisture. And I put a lot of tomatoes and all of them look at thing cook and break down. That's my callaloo. In the next clip, I'll have a plate all ready for you. All finished family, my Jamaican fried dumplings and callaloo dish. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. Did I say from my kitchen to yours? From my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is my Jamaican fried dumplings and callaloo. Dumplings done just like when Mama used to be around, like when Gangang, like when Aunt Mildred and all of those people used to be around. Please do enjoy. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. Remember to, if you so think it does. Remember to make sure you're subscribed. When you do subscribe, remember to hit that notification bell. Press the option that says all. In the description of this video, all my other videos and my lives will be all the information to get onto me. For nothing that is in the form of hanky-panky. None at all. Okay? And my Patreon link, everything will be there. We'll also leave for you the link to this cleaning, washing and shredding of callaloo and all of that. Thanks for the love, thanks for the support. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you. Some fried dumplings and Jamaican steamed callaloo.